I'll make my 40 pop.
Today in this video, I want to talk about an idea that I had that I thought was almost too good to not come true. And not only that, I thought it made absolute logistical sense and also made complete logical sense. And I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what it is. It's a Boruto power-up. You guys see it by the title and the thumbnail, of course. But in my mind, I think that Momoshiki and Boruto, they themselves have a new level to reach. Now, of course, this right here is going to be completely separate to the idea that Momoshiki has that, of course, he wants to take over Boruto's body and eventually live his life through the body of Boruto. In my mind, I think it could possibly be something very different, like a Karma mode or a KCM. This right here is absolutely nothing new. Ever since Momoshiki first gave Boruto the Karma seal and we realized that Momoshiki was probably going to be living inside of Boruto's consciousness, we always made the Momoshiki and Karma comparison. This right here will be the exact same thing. What led me to this idea is the fact that Boruto now has something that he didn't necessarily have at first when he was actually in battle. He has like very short glimpses of Momoshiki's memories or Momoshiki's thoughts. This right here was explained as not voluntary, which means that Momoshiki had absolutely no control over the thoughts that Boruto was able to hear from Momoshiki. The reason why this right here is absolutely important is because Momoshiki has over 1,000 years of battle experience, something that Boruto does not have. Originally, when we kind of seen or kind of heard Code talk about the Karma seal or the true essence of the Karma seal, he essentially said that Boruto should get some information or some knowledge from the Otsutsuki clan or the Otsutsuki member that did actually give him the Karma seal. Boruto, from what we've seen, have not actually gotten that. Now with this new ability that Boruto has, I personally believe in the next fight that Boruto has, it's very possible for some of Momoshiki's thoughts to be involuntarily actually shared with Boruto, which means in mid-battle, Momoshiki might think of doing something one way and Boruto originally was thinking of doing it the other way, but because Momoshiki has over 1,000 years of battle experience, it would be kind of smart for Boruto to actually opt to do what Momoshiki wants. Not only that, in life or death situations, Momoshiki is 9 times out of 10 probably going to help Boruto, just because of the sheer fact that Momoshiki now understands that Boruto is his only hope of living in actual life. Boruto is his only hope of even becoming an Otsutsuki god if Momoshiki actually does want to do something like that. Boruto is his only hope. So of course, if he is in battle, not only is he going to involuntarily give him information, but he's also going to possibly voluntarily give him information when Boruto is actually in life or death situations. Not only that, a couple of things that we do understand from Boruto is that he hasn't necessarily gotten all the traits from Momoshiki as of yet, and from the last couple of chapters it shows that he's still gaining things from Momoshiki. Now, in my personal opinion, one of the things that Boruto is probably likely to gain is probably going to be a Rinnegan on his hand. Now, this right here is something that we didn't necessarily get to see in the time skip version in episode 1 and in chapter 1, but of course, Virus kind of already came out and said things could possibly change from that situation. Of course, we're already seeing a bunch of things changing. Right now, Kawaki has a completely brand new dojutsu that we didn't necessarily get to see in that scene as well. And one of the reasons why it kind of makes sense is because Boruto as of right now isn't necessarily like up there with the upper echelons as of right now. And of course, when we talk about regular characters and things of that nature, of course, Boruto is like completely elite. Boruto would absolutely demolish 99% of the characters in the series. But in regards to the top 1%, we have Kawaki stronger than him. We have Damon stronger than him. We have Ko stronger than him. We have other Otsutsuki members, of course, the Shibai character stronger than him. So of course, Boruto as of right now is kind of falling behind in the pecking order, which wasn't necessarily the case a bit earlier on. And in my personal opinion, one of the ways to kind of easily get Boruto on that level and not necessarily reveal to us the Jogan as of yet is, of course, Boruto gets a power-up or possibly even a completely brand new form. Now, of course, this right here could possibly come in many different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be just flatly a brand new form. It could come incrementally, in my personal opinion. And this right here is why I believe that the next fight that Boruto is actually in is probably going to be significant. It's probably going to be very important to see exactly how Momoshiki reacts. Is Momoshiki actually going to now voluntarily give Boruto information? And also, is Boruto actually going to still be getting those clips and ideas from Momoshiki? But in my opinion, I think the idea of Boruto getting a power-up or a brand new form isn't necessarily that far-fetched. The real question is going to be when Boruto could possibly get that. Now, of course, Boruto getting stronger is naturally going to come if it is post time skip. In my personal opinion, I would absolutely love for Boruto to actually get a power up pre-time skip so we can actually go into the time skip with Boruto kind of training and learning the intricacies of his brand new power up or his brand new form. One of the more important things about Kawaki actually getting his dojutsu pre-time skip is during the time skip, he can actually train with the dojutsu. He can actually formulate combinations with the dojutsu. And of course, post-time skip, it's not necessarily going to be like Kawaki is a newcomer to that eye. Already it seems that Kawaki has a grasp onto it, but now post-time skip, it gives Kawaki the opportunity to kind of make the eye his own. He's really only doing what Ishiki Otsutsuki has done with the eye. Now could possibly be time for Kawaki to actually put on some combinations with the dojutsu. And similar with Boruto, getting the power up pre-time skip essentially gives us an opportunity for Boruto to come post-time skip already with his own packages, already with his own combinations. But of course, it can also happen post-time skip. And the reason why it could possibly happen post-time skip is because it's very possible for Boruto to be a bit too strong. One of the things that we do already understand is that Boruto's Jogan is possibly going to be just as strong as Kawaki's eye, or possibly even significantly stronger than that. It could possibly already put him on the level of unlimited code once he does actually grow into his body post time skip, and once he does actually grow into the abilities that the Jogan could possibly give him. And similar with Kawaki, as right now we understand that Kawaki is essentially a baby. He only has 4 triangles in his dojutsu. So post time skip, it could be a situation where he now has full blown 8 triangles in his eyes, and now he's on the level of like an unlimited code. So of course, it is a fear of Boruto and Kawaki getting a little bit too strong, but in my personal opinion, it would still kind of make sense to make Boruto a bit more like Momoshiki. You know, one of the things that we do understand for Boruto is that he hasn't necessarily gotten a lot of Momoshiki's core abilities. We talked about the Rinnegan. I personally believe it would be absolutely amazing for Boruto to learn flight. It's just a bunch of things that Boruto can possibly gain from Momoshiki that he still has not gained from Momoshiki. And in my personal opinion, I think that some of Momoshiki's abilities are just way too good for Boruto to not kind of capitalize on. One of the things in my personal opinion that Boruto could possibly make his own is, of course, the multiplication of jutsus. Hypothetically, he does get a Rinnegan on his hand, and now he's actually able to absorb not only jutsus but also godly divine art jutsus. Now Boruto has the opportunity to actually absorb that and also reflect it back multiple times the power than which he actually did absorb it. This right here could possibly be absolutely huge. Not only that, it's also possible that Boruto was able to make full-on chakra fruit, something that we've seen Momoshiki do on, I wouldn't say multiple occasions. We've seen Momoshiki actually turn Kinshiki into a fruit, but on a much larger scale, he kind of did the same exact thing with the 8 tails. He kind of absorbed the 8 tails chakra and converted that into a pill. This right here, in my personal opinion, is an extremely OP ability, just because of the sheer fact that you now no longer really even need like a full 10 tails to actually plant and actually get a chakra fruit, because Momoshiki kind of has that ability already. Now obviously it's probably not necessarily going to be as potent as actually full on planting a 10 tails with an Otsutsuki member, but this right here still allows Boruto the opportunity to get an endless amount of abilities and an endless amount of jutsus. Not only that, but also multiply the potency of those jutsus. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below, and what would you like to see if Boruto actually does get a brainy form. I think there's a bunch of things that the Boruto writers can actually do with this, which is why I think it's probably going to be so much entertaining. The more leeway Boruto writers have, I think the better the content actually does become. But let me know what you guys think. This has been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.